Canva just had a massive glow up and it's time to talk about it. It has become a tradition now that with each Canva Create, new features are revealed, and this year's updates brought a massive transformation to the homepage, the editor, some of the features, and things are looking really good. In today's video, I'm bringing you a detailed highlight of the new Canva updates and what you have to know about them to get ready for this new era of Canva. I'm Natalia. I help you create better content and grow on social media, so let's jump right in. The first thing you have to know is that if you don't see this glow up in your own account yet, it's probably because you were not a part of the lucky 1 million users who were able to discover it during and right after Canva Create 2024. The good news is it will progressively roll out to more and more users over the next few weeks, so stay tuned for this and of course start the learning process early so that you're ready for when it drops. Let's start with the first feature that was introduced, blend. I'm not going to lie, the first time I heard there was a blend feature coming to Canva, I thought it would have something to do with blending modes or melting two images into each other, but I was wrong. The way blend works is that it allows you to almost remix two images together, but it's best to explain it in practice. Say I've got this image right here, but I'm missing some lifestyle elements in the photo to be more on brand, maybe a bit more cozy. I wish there was a latte or a mug of tea on the table, maybe a plant somewhere in there, maybe some pictures on the wall behind. Well, luckily with blend, you can now get those elements from another photo and then put them in here. So this is how it works. I've got this image in here and I've already prepared some of the images from the gallery. So you can see that I've just kind of grabbed this and cropped it. I've got this PNG file of a plant in here. I even have a rug below and a mug of latte in here. There's a lamp. So let me show you the comparison. This is all of it without the elements, and this is all with the elements in here. The way it works is that you select your image, then select the other image that you want to blend it with. So say we'll start with the lamp. I'm then going to go ahead and click See All in here and choose Blend from here. Now, as you can see, it says start by selecting two images. If you don't have two of them selected, it will not be able to be clicked in here. So you will not have this option highlighted, but I can just click Blend Images in here. And what it does is that it, of course, opens up this AI feature panel that we know so well from the other features. And you can see that it actually blends that, that lovely lamp into the background. It analyzes the lighting, it analyzes the colors from the original image, and makes sure that this lamp just gets rendered as naturally as possible within the image. So now this is a part of the image. I can choose from all of these options and I will go for this one. Once I hit done, you can see this now becomes a part of the photo. So I no longer have this selected. I'll do that for all the rest of them and you'll see how it works. Let's try another one with this image of some pictures on the wall. I'll show you a different way to actually access blend. So once you select one image, you know this edit button here at the top. If I click on it and go ahead to apps here at the bottom, I can just scroll through them and this new blend app is in here as well. So you can access it, as I've said, by just selecting one image, but it will not be highlighted in here. So I'll have to select my original image as well. So by holding Shift, I will be able to select both of them and you can now see that Blend Images is now available. Let's try this one again and see what it does for me. And again, we've got 4 other options in here. You can see that it renders kind of similar vibe. The images are changing a little bit. I particularly like this one, although this one looks pretty cool as well with this kind of more beigey style. But I like this one. It shows the frames as they are, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to hit done. And you can see that again, now it became a part of the image as well. So I'll do the same thing for the rest of them and show you what it looks like at the end. Okay, and this is what I ended up with. I've got all the images blended into this main image. You can see the latte in here. You can see the pictures on the wall. You can see the plant, the rug, the top lamp in here. So everything is within this image right here. And you can see the comparison between what we had before and what we now had with this blend mode. So this is a really cool, funny feature. And if you play around with it, you'll likely get some very cool results. Feature number 2, edit apps. If you've been a fan of the old photo editor and its apps, you're going to love this Canva update. With the glowup, we've got quite a few apps available under Edit Photo now, and you'll recognize some of them from the previous editor. By the way, I've got a video on photo editor and how to use it to make your photos look much better. You can watch it next in here. And the great news is that some of them got an upgrade and gave us more power over the final result. To see these new edit apps, what you have to do is to, of course, select an image and then go to edit here at the top. And from here at the bottom, again, we've got the different apps. So starting from the very end, we've got Liquify, Bat TV, Screen, we've got Slice, Trippy, Color Mix, we've got Blend, we've just covered Pixelify, Colorize, Image Upscaler, and Mockups, which we'll cover in just a second. So make sure to stick around. And all of those are back in here, but we now have a little bit more power over what we can do with them, as I've mentioned just a second ago. So if you take a look at Slice, for example, what you can see in here is that apart from having those kind of different styles like this, you can see that we now have the power to change the controls and change, in this case, the count of the slices, the position of them like this. So you can see that we're much more capable of changing and really customizing what we want it to look like. Let's jump into maybe Liquify. This is something that I really love. And again, you've got the options that we know from before. We've got melt, wobble, we've got smear, smudge, and flow. And these are all almost like presets right now, because below you can then see this melt amount in here, the melt scale like this. You can change the wobble amount, the wobble scale, the smear. You can see that all of it just can create those little funky effects that you can then use to, again, manipulate your images or create more creative backgrounds. Feature number 3, Magic Click. Something that I've been calling Magic Click has been introduced as well. And the reason I call it that is because, one, it's available through so many of the Magic Studio features like Magic Grab, Magic Eraser, Grab Text, or Magic Edit. And two, it also gives us a one-click subject recognition feature, therefore Magic Click. Here's how it works. Let's find the Magic Studio app. So I'm going to select another image and go to Edit at the top again. And we've got the Magic Studio features in here. Now let's try Magic Grab, for example. And now instead of the classic brush that we've had before, where we had to, just select parts of the image and maybe painstakingly try to select the object very, very clearly, we now have the option to click, and you can see that it highlights for you which objects, or in that case, a dog, can be actually selected. So you've got a desk in here, you've got the lovely lady in here. So this is how I can just select those elements very quickly, and this is what it does. So you can see that I've selected the object. I can now click grab, and it's going to analyze it for me. And again, I think it's really great since it saves us a lot of time on brushing the subject manually, and it's much more precise when it comes to the edges. In my opinion, it's a great improvement. By the way, a lot of the updates I'm covering today are pro-only features, although not all of them. But if you'd like to test them out yourself, then claim your 30-day free trial for Canva Pro from the link in the description box down below. It gives you 4 weeks to use all the amazing templates and the elements from the library and the useful pro features to really help you create incredible designs. So it's a great opportunity to try it, no strings attached. Voila, you can see that the object is now selected and completely removed from the background. Of course, it doesn't quite work in that context just because she is sitting at the desk, so it's not necessarily something that we would like to do. But I can show you the other options and what they look like in terms of that click. So in Magic Edit, again, instead of the brush, we now have click as well. So again, it analyzes the image in here, and from here, hopefully I will be able to, select the dog in here, and from here I can maybe change it into a cat. Let's see if it works. Okay, that's definitely intriguing. My prompt wasn't that great. Clearly, it tried to replace the whole of the body of the dog with, cat-like creatures, clearly. Well, maybe this one could potentially work, although I don't know what that kind of paw slash tail is quite as much. But you know how AI works. We've got funny results, especially if you don't give it that much information. But again, with just one click, you can select a dog and then change it into 2 very oddly looking, oddly shaped cats. Feature number 4, Magic Media. Now, I know Magic Media is not technically a new update, but got a big upgrade and we've got to talk about it. Apart from generating images and videos in different styles, we can now also generate graphics as well. It's great because sometimes you just need an icon, a sticker, or an illustration, and before, the AI model in Magic Media didn't quite get the illustration prompts and couldn't really create those for us. With the update, we can now easily do it and add those fun extra elements to our designs. First, to find Magic Media, we have to jump into apps. I'm going to say Magic Media in here and search for it like this. This is the first one that pops up, and this is our Magic Media. So now, apart from generating images and videos in different styles that you can find in here, you can also generate graphics as well. Now, I think it's great because sometimes you just need an icon, a sticker, an illustration, and before, the AI model for Magic Media didn't quite get the illustration prompts and couldn't really create those for us. Luckily, right now, we've got this update and we can do it easily and add those fun little extra elements to our designs. Now, imagine you're creating a post in a scrapbooking style like this one, maybe something, as a memory for yourself. And you can really seem to find a funky elephant illustration in the Canva library. So what I can do in here is to just ask for an elephant. And from the styles here below, I would be able to choose something like a scrapbook. From here, I can go ahead and generate this graphic like this, and let's wait for it to render. Again, this is pretty amazing. It looks really cool. I can just click on the one that I want to add, and it's going to add it and upload it to my account, to our uploads. So in here, you can see that's a little kind of illustration of this elephant in here, and you can just pop it like this and maybe add another note in here just to create almost like an online storytelling little kind of diary for myself, if that makes sense. And of course, at any stage, you will be able to change the prompt in here if what it generated isn't really up to your standard. You can expand on the prompt or change the style from here as well. So this is our illustration in Magic Media. Feature number 5, styles. The styles feature in Canva got a big update as well. We can now apply fonts, colors, and elements from a design or a template we like to our own design with just a click. So if you've designed something yourself or you've used a template from the Canva library, like I did in this case, but you prefer a color palette from another template, then you can right-click this template from the design tab in here in the left panel. So I'm just going to make it appear as solid, and I'll go to my recently used templates to find this one in particular. So now if I go ahead and click on the 3 dots, I will be able to apply text only, apply colors only, and then apply elements, which I find super, super cool. Or you can apply the whole style to the page. So let's try with apply colors only in here. So you can see that just like before, I will be able to shuffle the colors just like that. And I can also go ahead and apply those elements like this, which adds those elements in here. This is so cool. I find it such a great way to kind of customize the vibe of your design much better. And then from here, I would be able to just, take it and maybe kind of design it a little bit differently, move the elements around. So this is a really cool option in here. Now, if I jump back after adding those elements, I can also go ahead to apply colors only and then shuffle those colors like this to give me a lot more options. You can see in here that I've also customized it a little differently with shuffling this same palette. So you can see how much you can customize it to your liking with this feature. Now, apart from that, you can also switch to the styles section in here. I'll just remove the recently used templates. So in the design tab in the styles section, apart from your blanket and suggested palettes or your recently used palettes, something that we've had in here before, you can also find different font sets. You can find your own creations in here from your own recent styles of your own recent designs. And you can also have image palettes from the images that you've used within this design as well. So we can just click on it and you see the different palettes that get pulled from those images very easily. I find it so cool, and it's a great way to really get inspired and design with a completely different vibe in mind. Feature number 6. video mockups. This feature is probably one of my favorites out of all the updates from this year's Canva Create because it's so useful for content creators and small business owners. Do you know how you can create beautiful mockups with loads of great images from the Mockups app? Well, now we've got a big update and we can create video mockups too. There are two ways to access mockups from the Canva editor. I'll show you the first one right now. So I've got an image in here promoting my content creator toolbox. It's a free resource, by the way, so if you'd like to check it out, you can do it from the link in the description box. I can go ahead to edit here at the top, and I can go to apps for mockups. Now, as I've mentioned before, we've always had amazing mockups available here for graphics, watches, packaging, so many different options. But I can go ahead to this video section in here, which is a new update, and you can see how many incredible mockups we've got available. We've got candles and packaging, we've got iPads and phones, and so many options for presenting your images the way you like. So say this is the one that I want to use. I can just click on it and let it load. And voila, this is what it looks like. Let me just drag it by the size to fill the screen completely. So you can see that it's now within my laptop. I mean, not my laptop, within the mockup. And you can see that in here, I've got options to fill the frame or to fit the frame. You would be able to move this thing around as well and to center it. So this is great that we've got all that power. You also can smart crop it, change the alignment, flip it if you'd like, and detach the image if you're not happy with it. Once you change it, you can just hit apply changes, but I'm happy with what it looks like. And let me show you the rendered mockup like this. So you can see that it's pretty cool. It's pretty dynamic. I can use it to promote it in different ways. I would be able to maybe, add a voiceover. I've got a separate one in here that I've created before, so you can see that it's just the same one. But it's a really cool option that we've got in here right now. And if I go back to it at any point, I want to change things up. Maybe I didn't want to fit it. I might have preferred to fill this screen with my image. I can go back to edit, and this panel appears again. So again, it's fully customizable and it's really cool. I've pulled another example in here with my content marketing strategy in here with a resource as well on a clipboard so you can see what it looks like. And again, as a little side note, maybe a little fun fact as well, you can also put elements in mockups now. So you can see that this one is actually an element that I just placed over this mockup in here and it just added it to it. So it's a really cool option too. Feature number 7, enhance voice. Here we've got great news for those of you who record video content on your phone or without a professional microphone. We've got a new feature called Enhance Voice, which means that with just a click, you can now improve the quality of your audio thanks to AI. It removes background noise, it balances sound levels, and generally makes your voice sound clear and crisp just as you want. To access Enhance Voice, what you need to do is to select your video and then go to audio here at the very top, and then you'll have Enhance Voice. So you can see that this is a pro only feature. Grab that free trial if you don't have Pro, but if you're a Pro user, this is how you would access it. So I'm just going to turn it on and let it work. You can see that's at 20%, so it takes a while to process, and we'll get back in here shortly. And this is it now with Enhanced Voice. You can see that I can click on it. I've got great news for those of you who record content on your phone or don't use a professional microphone. It's much crisper, it's much clearer. Again, it will work a lot better when it comes to audio that is a lot more noisy. I cannot really show it to you as much, but let me try to turn it off from here on this clip and then compare the two for you. I've got great news for those of you who record content on your phone or don't use a professional microphone. Okay, that's number 1. And again, that's the one that was enhanced. I've got great news for those of you who record content on your phone or don't use a professional microphone. Feature number 8. Auto trim. There's also an auto trim feature now, cutting down on editing time by cutting up the video for you from both ends. So in this video right here, I'll just give it a little bit of a playback like this. You can see that I talk in here a lot, and then there's a little bit of that dead air, if that makes sense. So if I go to trim at the top, like in here. At the very beginning, I talk about something completely different, and then I switch the subject right about here. So what I can do now is to go to auto trim. Again, it's a pro feature only. And if I click on it, it will analyze the video and cut off the parts that don't belong in here according to the AI model. So you can see they cut it for me. And at any stage, if I want to include a little bit more, I can just go ahead and change that in here. So just drag the sides like this, or maybe, change the parts like that and, choose a different trim. Feature number 9. Highlights. This feature is all about creating highlights from your videos. Now, the promise of this feature is to allow us to create snappy videos without lifting a finger and to generate short, engaging clips using the power of the Highlights tool's AI technology. With highlights, the AI packed into Canva identifies the key moments from the video in seconds, and this saves us time while editing. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little underwhelmed with this feature since I hoped it would give us better social media clip making capabilities, something that we've got within, say, Descript with their AI tools, but I'm glad that the video editor is improving and hopefully we'll get some more help with content production in the future. Okay, so I've got a bit of a longer video in here just to be able to show you those highlights. So once I click on the video, I can go to edit here at the top. And now within Magic Studio, apart from the background remover that we know from before, we also have highlights. So once I click on it, it analyzes the video and you can see that it suggests the different highlights from the video. So you can see exactly where my introduction and hook were, where my tutorial overview started, where I welcomed the audience and then started talking about the different parts of the tutorial. This was about creating a font from your own handwriting. So from here, you can see that I've got creating your own font, uploading font to Canva, final thoughts and call to action. So if I click on one of those, just like that, I can add this selection to the design like this, and it just cuts it for me like that. So I'm just going to undo it in here because I want that longer clip to stay in here, just in case I want more of those highlights. I've actually copied that over in here already. So you can see that this is the portion of the video where I actually talk about uploading the font to Canva, which I can then use to add B-roll on top of it of me actually showing Canva, the screen recording that I've got separately from this video. So it's a super cool option to be able to just quickly identify those key moments without having to browse through the whole long clip and try to find those key moments for yourself. Now, before we move on, I also want to include some honorable mentions. We've got a few updates in Docs with page breaks, highlights, and columns. We can also add voice to Magic Write, which makes the generated content much more on brand. There's also the option to add courses, which is a great feature for businesses who need to onboard their clients or employees. Now, for feature number 10, there's a big update with work kits, which I promised last week I would cover it this week, but it's such a big thing to talk about on top of all of those updates I've shared in here. So I'll be posting a dedicated video just about work kits very soon. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to not miss it when it's out. And while we're at it, why don't you give this video a thumbs up if you've learned something new today? It helps the channel a ton, so I'd be grateful to you for doing this small thing right now. Watch this video now to find out how to find your way around the new glow up and what this new layout means to you with my honest opinions. And then this one in here to discover features you didn't know existed in Canva. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.